Hey everyone, Adrian Morrison here, and in this video I'm going to talk about an extremely powerful tool that Facebook is rolling out. Now, it may not be rolled out across the entire world yet, but I know for a fact it's here in the US, and I've seen it in other people in other countries like Australia get access to it. So I think it's a pretty standard feature now, but I just want to go ahead and preface this video with the fact that sometimes international Facebook accounts have features rolled out to them a little bit later in the game, but just go in and check and see if this is here in your account, and if it is, it's going to just be a massive benefit, and it's going to help you do some really cool stuff. Now, I call this audience intersecting, okay? Intersect targeting. And when you start audience intersecting your targeting on Facebook, you can really chop away the fat and just promote your product to the most prime audience, the most targeted, laser targeted audience possible. And this works really well with niche products, as you'll see. So number one is audience intersecting rocks. If you're having trouble getting your product to convert, maybe if you try some of this strategy of audience intersecting, it might help you kind of get over that hump and find your buyers. So here's the issue. When you are targeting something that is very niche related, sometimes there are niche overlaps. So write that down, niche overlaps, meaning the customer really needs to like both niches in order to really appeal to your product. And you'll see what I mean here. Let's say that you're promoting a coffee mug, okay? So you're selling a coffee mug. I love coffee mugs. And this coffee mug has a picture of a cat on it. So has a picture of a cat, maybe the cat's dancing. It's a funny picture of a dancing cat on a coffee mug, okay? And you want to promote this product on Facebook. You're in a situation now where you need to hit two different people that like two different things. They gotta like cats, and they also got to like coffee. Otherwise, they're probably not going to be interested in this coffee mug. And the problem is with Facebook targeting, just regular targeting, when you put in the keywords cats and coffee, you're not going to be hitting just people that like cats and coffee. You're going to be hitting everyone that says I like cats. And additionally, you're going to be hitting everyone that says I like coffee. Now, the problem with that is not everybody that likes cats drinks coffee, and not everybody that drinks coffee likes cats. So you're going to be promoting this niche product to a broad audience, and you're going to be wasting a ton of money on ad impressions to people that could care less about this particular product because it's more niche related. Now, instead, what if you could get on Facebook and say, Facebook, only show my ad for this coffee mug with the dancing cat on it to people that say, I like cats, and must also say, I like coffee. This means that they are a lead that likes both cats and coffee. Would you agree that that person is more likely to buy this coffee mug with the dancing cat on it? You're probably saying yes in your head or nodding your head yes right now. Okay, very good. Now, when you do this, you're able to narrow down your audience and find the people that are more likely to convert. And this works very well for niche products. Something that has that niche overlap. So it's people that like two specific things in order to qualify for your product. Here's an image I created in Photoshop. So I'm very proud of this image because I did it myself. And it kind of gives you a visual idea of what I'm talking about. So I went into Facebook and I typed in cats. And in the green circle, on Facebook, there are 228 million people that show up for the interest cats on Facebook. 228 million people say they like cats on Facebook. All right, now look at the blue. 434 million people say that they like coffee on Facebook. But you see that in between where the green and the blue overlap each other and it makes like a darker shade of blue in the center, right? That is that niche audience, that precise, specific, intersected audience that likes both cats and coffee. Now, when I went into Facebook and I used this method I'm going to show you, and I intersected the audiences, instead of getting 400 million or 200 million people, I came out with a target audience of 24 million people. Think about that. I got rid of between 4 and 500 million people, okay? And I'm left with 24 million people that say, I like cats and I like coffee. Now, that piece of the pie, the main intersected audience in the center of this graph, those are the people, those 24 million people are the ones that are more likely to respond to your ad for a coffee mug with cats on it. Now, you could do this for all sorts of things. You could say, I want to target people that like Luke Bryan, but also like whiskey. I want to target people that like snowboarding, but also like skiing out on the water. You can intersect up to 2 audiences right now in Facebook, and it can create some pretty powerful pretty powerful targeting for you. So what we're going to do is we are just going to exit the PowerPoint. We're going to go into Facebook, and I'm going to show you how you can start intersecting audiences with this new tool that Facebook has rolled out. All right, so here we are in my Facebook account, and we are right here where the detailed targeting is. Now here's where we can intersect, but first I want to show you something. In the example we just looked at in the slide, we were trying to target cat owners that loved coffee. Now typically what's going to happen is, what most people do is they come in here and say, okay, I want to target people that like cats. Oh, and I also want to target people that like coffee because I'm selling a coffee mug to people that like cats. Now, this brings us to 64 million people in the US. That graph I showed you is Facebook wide. This one is just targeting the US, okay? So 64 million people show up in the audience of people that like coffee and like cats. But we're not hitting an intersected audience here. We're hitting everybody that likes cats and everybody that likes coffee. This audience here is not people that like both cats and coffee. They're people that like either coffee or cats. So we end up with 64 million people in our audience, okay? But what we can do is come down here to where we have this little button that says narrow an audience, and let's just get rid of cats and leave it with coffee. 61 million people, okay? And we're gonna hit narrow audience. Now when we do this, it's going to bring up this thing that says, and they must also match at least one of the following. So that means they must also like coffee and whatever I put in this box right here. And if you hover your mouse, they actually have a little graph. I didn't even know this. If I had known this, I wouldn't have had to do my Photoshop work a second ago. And it's going to give you that intersected audience. It's dead center right there. Okay, so choose new targeting details to refine your audience. Tip, adding the first option will decrease the size of your audience, and then each new option will increase the size from there. Okay, so let's go ahead and type in cats down here. We're going to take the 61 million person audience, and we're going to intersect it with cats. Now we've got 26 million people that like cats, okay? Now, we can come in and narrow even further if we want to. And I didn't even know they'd let you do a third time. That's actually new as well. So now you can intersect it one layer deeper. They must also like coffee. They must like coffee. They must like cats. And you could say they must also, I don't know, let's look for something. Be in a relationship. Or you could say married, whatever. And that takes it down to 6.8 million people that are married, that like cats and also like coffee. So for the cat coffee mug, you wouldn't need to go 3 layers, but look, you can just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper with this audience intersecting. And this can build you some insane audiences. Here's another thing that we could do. Let's say that you're doing a cell phone cover with like I'm a crazy cat mom or something written on it. So we could get rid of coffee. We could come over here to the behaviors, because you can intersect behaviors, interests, demographics, everything. Come down here to mobile device user, and we can say we want to only target people that have iPhone 4, 4S, 5, 5C, 5S, 6, and 6 Plus, and 6S. There's a lot of iPhones, and 6S Plus. Because that's, you sell iPhone covers for iPhone 4s and above. And they must also like cats. That takes it down to 11 million people. Now, most people would do this. They would have all of these in this first box and then type in cats. And they would end up with an audience of 89 million people. So these are this right here is people that match at least one of the following. They don't have to match all of them. They match at least one. So they either like iPhones or they like cats. So when I take that out and I use this narrow audience button, we go from 89 million people to 11. So we drastically slice that audience down. So now we're targeting people that use iPhones that also like cats with an iPhone cover that fits their iPhone that has to do with cats. So very, very, very detailed targeting, okay? So you can get very niche specific here. And as you can see, I'm able to just continue to go further and further and further down the line. I have never gone more than three layers of intersection. And I could see how there may be a couple of products that you could go 4 or 5 layers deep. I mean, it really just depends on what you're advertising, okay? So it's just a really cool tool that you can use here in Facebook. Once again, it's not hard to do. You just need to know that it's there. You need somebody who's been there, who's done that, who's currently doing it in the trenches to say, hey, check out this tool here. And you can start intersecting your audiences, and you quit wasting money, quit throwing away money on ads that aren't properly targeted, and just hit that sweet spot, that sweet audience that's intersected in between both of your criteria. And that is where you're going to take your ROI to the next level. All right. So when you come in Facebook, remember, you need to, when you get here to detailed targeting, there's going to be a little button after you put an audience. See, there's right now it just says exclude. It doesn't say narrow. You have to put an audience in here first. Then once you do that, this button for narrow audience comes up, and you can put the next one in. I could even say not only do they like coffee, but they also like Folgers. How do you spell Folgers? Yeah, they gotta like Folgers coffee. So that takes us down to 1.6 million people. And my coffee mug might say, I just wanna drink my Folgers and love my cat, right? So you can get very, very detailed with this intersection, and it's just an amazing tool. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you use it. I hope that it helps you crush out some of your ads. I mean, this is just like the cream of the crop right here. Not many people have shown this just yet because it is a newer tool, and intersecting's been around for a while, but it wasn't like released to everybody. And from what I know now, it's released to most of Facebook users. So go in there, see if you got it. If you do, crush it. And I hope you learned a lot from this video. I hope that your gears are churning, they're spinning, and you're coming up with some really cool niche ideas that can help you produce insane ROI. That's it for this video. I'll see you on the next one.